Hello, welcome to the video notes for lesson 14-10, Interpreting Two-Way Frequency Tables. These notes begin on page 36 in your binder, in your notes packet. Let's go ahead and take a look at the lesson target. I can interpret two-way frequency tables. Pretty straightforward, kind of goes along with the title. Alright, so we have an example two-way frequency table. It's two-way because we have the rows and the columns are basically different questions or different responses, and then they cross to form the values for each particular, under each column and row. So, Web Radio Rock Station Kula posts survey results about the type of rock that rocks its male and female listeners. Describe the two most important things you see in the results. Explain why they are the most important. So, this activity is actually one that's supposed to be like a discussion in class. But we're going to talk about a few things in this video I'm going to bring up, and I want you to think about some things that you might say. Now, there are actually many important things in this table. I'm going to go ahead and kind of finish the table off. I don't like how some of these were left out, because it's really important that you have everything separated well so you can see what's going on. Alright, so some people might look at this table and say the most important thing is this, and this, the totals. So that for instance, more males were surveyed than females. Or you might write it a different way and say there were less females surveyed than males. And that could have an impact on the other results. Others might point out that, well, there was only 88 people surveyed, and that's not a big number, or that is a big number. So that could be one important thing. Another important possibility is this number and this number. The largest number of each type of rock. For each gender, and each type of rock. Okay, so write all that down. Some people might say, well, really, isn't just the totals for each type the important? So like this number here, 36, says that punk is the most favorite type of rock. But the problem with that is, well, so many males like that, but that's not the female's favorite. So another interesting fact that someone might point out is that soft rock seems to be the lowest for both genders and the lowest total. So answering the question up above really could be done a bunch of different ways, but the bottom line is all of it comes from the information that's in the table. You can look at this table and identify the numbers that you see and basically say what they mean or talk about what that could be. All right, so Let's go ahead and take a look at page 37. So now we're going to have specific questions, and we're going to look at the table and try to answer them based on what we see. So the first question, how many students were surveyed? To find that, you actually have to look at the final total, which is right here, and that's going to be 120 students. Unless somewhere else in the problem it tells you that there were 300 people surveyed, but only 120 actually answered this. So, how many students were surveyed? 120 students. How many students like sports? So, like sports, yes. So that's going to be coming from this right here, and we're going to say the total is 60. So 60 students like sports. How many girls like sports? Well, look again at this row here. 35 girls like sports. How many boys like sports? 25 boys like sports. I think what's interesting is we have an even number, or identical numbers for those that like and those that don't like. Who likes sports more, the girls or the boys? And explain. Based on this table, we could probably say, now it could be a little tricky because really 35 out of the 75 girls say that they like sports. But if we just go with the totals, we could say that girls like girls like sports more than boys because 35 is greater than 25. Even though percentage-wise, the girls is more than the boys. But we're not going to talk about percents in this lesson. So girls like sports more than boys because 35 is greater than 25. Now, we might talk about this a little bit more because, again, this could be a little misleading. This 35 is a total, but if we look at it percentage-wise, the boys are actually a greater percent than the girls. But based on how this question looks, I think it's safe to answer it this way. Who would be interested in this information? How might they use it? Well, I'm thinking maybe coaches, teachers, maybe for their examples, PE teachers, administrators. There's a lot of different students could be interested in this. And how might they use it? Well, basically, used to make decisions about sports, topics or issues. So, if a school district is trying to decide, do they want to have more sports for students to participate in or less sports? Teachers maybe want to decide whether they should use sports as examples. There's lots of different people who might use this and how they're going to use it. So, and we can't really get that information from the table. This is just something we have to answer based on our own experiences. So there's really no right or wrong answer about that. Anyway, that's just something that's kind of nice to know. Anyways, next 2 pages, there's some examples for you to do on your own. You have to answer these based on the information that you see in the two-way frequency tables. On page 39, at the bottom, there's a key. Please don't look at the key to answer this. Answer it, and then compare your answers with the key. All right, that's it for this lesson. Good luck, and we will see you in math.